Back to, it only brought me back. We actually took the plane.
Oh, yeah.
We were lights. But I did hear the bus story before we got on the plane. But we came back. It was actually for Bobby's graduation from the Coast Guard Academy.
1981?
Yeah, 1981 when we came back. That was the first trip back before we were married. And, we, met them as they were going to some. They were heading out in the car as we showed up, and they were going to some event at the Coast Guard Academy. And sort of said, "Hi, nice to meet you. See you later." And then came back, but we had a nice weekend with them. And then, as I recall, there was dinner, I think, at 36 Jarvis Road the night before we were going to leave. And it was like we hadn't really told them that we were going to get married. And so, naive person that I was, we came up with this idea of, well, if Marilyn doesn't tell him by dessert, I'll tell him. So who do you think, clearly no one said anything by dessert. So I did my part. I said that, we had, that we wanted to get married, and, we were basically telling them, Grammy and Grampy, that we were going to get married, and Grammy's response was textbook. Just, well, do you think we're surprised? Which actually was a great response because it cut the tension out. But it's been great being part of this family, and knowing Grampy was great. We could always talk about baseball and the Celtics, and we just had a great. I feel really blessed to become part of this family, and Gal and the Pops were a big part of that. So.
Thank you. I did not set him up. I had every intention of saying, by the way. But dinner just went faster than I thought. That's all it was.
Sure.
Yeah, well, I guess it's the favorite grandson spoke. The favorite granddaughter.
There's no competition in this.
Am I
right?
right? Favorite granddaughter too, don't worry. She's speaking on behalf of both of us. But I totally agree with Mark. I find myself definitely talking about my grandma a lot. In particular, like Laura earlier said something that I've totally told my friends too. I'm like, my grandma has more of a social life than I do. I'll call her like at 10 p.m. Denver time on a Friday night, and she'll like just be getting in from like going out, and I'm like in my jammies ready for bed.
I've been on the couch for 3 hours now.
But she's always been a great role model, and the one thing I love about Grammy, even to this day, is what a traveler she is, and I appreciate that I got the travel bug from you. And one of my best trips ever was going to Puerto Rico with Grammy, which I partially did to become favorite grandchild. Also to spend quality time with my grandma, and it was.
Resistance is futile.
But it was definitely a trip that I will never forget, and I'm very thankful we got to do it together.
Thank you. Yay! Good job.
One other thing to talk about here is we're thankful that while here, and we can appreciate the fact that this guy dodged a huge bullet last November, and he made it because of his strength and the medical people in San Diego, and the prayers and the caring that came from all these people. And Martha and I and Mark are glad we survived that and made us stronger. And one other person deserves recognition, and that's this person here is the most compassionate and wonderful nurse I can ever imagine.
Yep.
She came down twice, and I think she would have stayed the whole time if we asked her to.
Yep.
And it made a huge difference. And the respect that those doctors gave her is just from talking to her and knowing she's a nurse from Stanford. They really respected that, you can tell. And she helped us through. And she was the first one who told me, she was the first one who told me that Mark was going to make it. And we needed to hear that, because we weren't sure. She told me, and I knew it, and I believed it, and I felt better about it. And then it's the little things too. The tape on the blind, on the leveler. Mark was in ICU for 21 days. In ICU, there's bright lights and there's nurses coming and going. That's just the way it needs to be. And on the door, there's these cheapo plastic levelers. And every time the nurse comes in there, closes the door and these levelers, clatter, clatter, clatter. Any chance he was sleeping went away with all this noise. The second day I came in and Merrily had put medical tape across the corner of these just to keep the stupid levelers to the door.
It's
And
the little things.
It's the little
It
things.
really is the little things that make a difference.
Yeah. And the big thing, she stayed up with him overnight, just about every night. Well, probably every night she was there, just so Mark and I could get some rest, and to be comforting to Mark. And it was.
I still have a list. In the middle of the night, I would make lists of reminders of what I wanted to talk to the doctors about in the morning. Okay, what are you going to do about this? What are you going to do about that? And I still on my phone have that list of things that, because there were certain things that didn't meet my standard and they weren't going to.
It was a close call, but altogether, they pulled it off, and you were a big part of it, Marilyn. Thank you.
There's nothing like a good nurse.
Hey, sister.
Can I follow up to Bobby's really quick? Gal, I believe that you got a prayer chain going with sisters. Do you remember the prayer chain? You got a prayer chain going with one of your groups out here in Manchester, and so we appreciated that. And at some point in time, Bob, you had to go home, and you're like, what do we do? And you called in Jack and Sue, and they were right there, just like that, right? Okay. And then, I just wanted to follow up on Lisa's, back totally to Grammy here. And you, Gal, I don't know how many times you said to Bob and I on the West Coast, well, I'd call you, but you're in bed so much earlier than we are. 3-hour time difference, right? And so a couple things about our family, the Holmstrom family, who love you like you're one of our family, and they all send their greetings, and they love you so much. My dad, who's only 91, right? You're 91. He always says, oh, Lillian, she just makes it look so easy, Marty. I can't keep up with her, you know, because he can't keep up with you. And Sonia, when I sent her pictures of you at water aerobics and polka dancing, Sonia's 54 years old, and she writes back to me, I want to be like Gal when I grow up. Please give her a hug. So, I'm going to give you a hug from Sonia. And all of the Hoosiers. Thank you. Patty, I didn't mean to preempt you. I was reading.
Oh no, I was just trying to figure out why my phone won't take a video.
I always tell Bob, he really lucked out getting into the Holmstrom family.
Yeah.
They are the nicest people.
I would like to second that, because in my travels to San Diego when Mark was in the hospital, I got to meet more of the Holmstroms and spend a little more time with them when we were hanging out and stuff. And I want to be invited to the next Holmstrom family reunion because it's such an amazing bunch.
Yeah, well, thank you. They sure love you. And then I got one story about a rodeo, okay? Now, Gal was 91, 92 years old, and it was summertime, and she came out to Ellensburg because we've got the 4th largest rodeo in the country. Who knew, okay? And my sister Sonia, again, lives on a ranch. They raise beef cattle. And so Sonia got us tickets to go to the rodeo, and down at the beginning of the rodeo was the Indian dance. Now all the Native Americans all come down and they gather in a circle and they do the friendship dance. Do you know what that ground is like with all those cows and those horses? Can you imagine how yucky the ground is? And Gal's like, well, I'm going down, and I'm like, oh, well, I'm not. So she troops down there and she does the friendship dance in her shoes through all the muck. And they really thought that was really special that you would participate. So enthusiasm.
I like to try anything once.
Well, you do.
Sean, if you're ever gonna be renewed as favorite grandchild, this is your opportunity. No pressure.
I will say something short.
Yay, all right. Mark, he's after you.
I'm not worried about number 3. I think it's very nice every time that we get together. Obviously, the grandkids, we don't see each other that much, but when we do, it's like we never really left. That's really a tribute to the families that she made and the closest that we have, and we think we really appreciate that. And now we have Philip to harass. He's a good sport about it. And, really made me excited for more people to harass. Because I think we're really good at it. Really and Patty, really set an example.
That's in your control.
So I think the closest of this family, it is definitely a tribute for everything that Mimi has shown us, and I really appreciate that, and I think everyone else does too. So, thank you.
All right.
Happy birthday.
Oh, now we got number 1. I would like to say a special thank you to Sid and Sue and Chrissy and Sean for always being the most amazing, all 4 of them, the most amazing, gracious hosts and hostesses.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, last year, I'm sorry that everybody wasn't able to be there, but last year when we had the reunion in Richmond, I never worked so hard in my life, and I thought, oh my God, Sid and Sue and Chrissy and Sean host us year after year after year, and talk about making it look easy. So that, I realize, is the sign of a truly gracious family. You guys are great, and Grammy is so lucky to have, you guys are just amazing, living close by to Grammy, and she always, trust me, she probably tells me how much she loves and appreciates all that you do for her, maybe even more than she tells you. So, right, Mom?
Right. Thank you.
Keeps going.
All right. I'm impressed.
I would just like to say thank you to Grammy for being such a great role model and for starting this family. And I know that coming here with Philip, I was so excited for him to meet everybody, but most especially for him to meet Grammy and get to hear stories about Grampy, since I didn't get to meet him, so I don't have the stories, but he's always been here in spirit at all of our family reunions, I feel. And so it's just something that I appreciate sharing with Philip, and I'm excited for everyone to come out for the wedding, and it was always important for me to try to do my best to make sure that Grammy can be there too, and so that we also picked a Grammy appropriate venue. I just want to say thank you for being the matriarch of our family and for instilling good values in the family that I can show off to Philip, and yeah.
Good job.
Good
job.
You know what I love about this gang is how they all keep together and keep each other informed of what's going on in the various families. Here's my friend.
That's me.
Yeah, I guess. Oh, she was confused.
I thought she was confused. I have finally gotten over her naming me Eugene.